We are, of course, backing up in Day night. Well, I am anyway. I'm doing the backup. Dan Jam, Eddie 88. Ahoy. Mr. Ed's dead. A couple of Eds in the chat room. Wablax. Ahoy there. Yes, so welcome along. Have your company as always here on West as we the Cronulla Sharks and the Brisbane Broncos, the match of the round by far, coming up after this one. Mind you, that game against the Raiders and Tigers, that turned out to be a blockbuster, didn't it? But anyways, it's good to have the real footy back now. The exhibition's over on Monday night. Got the real competition back in action. Game of Mount Ahoy. Very interesting statistics, by the way. I would like to point out, much to the chagrin of Michelle, because she doesn't like it when I point it out, but the Sharks have not had a home game against the Broncos since 2019. And of course, her immediate response was, oh, of course, COVID had nothing to do with that. Well, COVID did have 1 year to do with that. But yeah, the Broncos supporters, they get a bit precious about mentioning the home games, don't they? But anyways, it's not a home game tonight. That was the point that I was making. It's the Sharks' first time playing the Broncos with a home game since 2019. Will that make a difference? Because for the Sharks, the Broncos are a little bit of a bogey team. As I say in a lot of streams featuring the Sharks, they've got a lot of bogey teams, don't they? The Raiders are probably the biggest one. Bogey team. Warriors. The Titans. Well, the Broncos. Quite a few bogey teams there for my Sharks, but hopefully they break that. They can break history tonight. They've only won twice. I was looking this up just before, and I was trying to memorize it, but I've obviously failed at that. But the Sharks have only won something like 2 out of the last 9 games against the Broncos. No matter where it's played at some, doesn't matter. They really do struggle against the Broncos. Ahoy there, Vobsy. This game is technically blue versus. Well, that actually leads in nice. I wanted to talk about in the pre-game some of our talking points. We do have Origin stars backing up. The State of Origin stars are backing up. They are. Oh, sorry. I've been fiddling about with my knobs. All right, how's that? Is that better? I do apologize. I've been fiddling about with my audio knobs, by the way. When I said I've been fiddling about with my knobs, that's what I meant, my audio knobs. I'm always fiddling about, trying to make things better. I inevitably make it a lot worse. All right. So should I start from the top? Or are we all good? We got the gist of what I was saying. First time since 2019. Sharks with a home game against the Broncos. And the Sharks have lost 7 out of the last 9. Yeah, Game of Mel, the South Sydney Rabbitohs are currently leading 46 points to 22 over the Gold Coast Titans with 2.5 minutes to go. We're pretty much just waiting for the war-a-thon, this snooze-a-thon, to come to meek and meaningless end, because I think we all knew that Souths were going to defeat the Titans. So I didn't really bother streaming it. All right, so talking points for this game coming up, which, about 15 minutes away, roughly. 15 minutes away from kickoff, or give or take, as the Titans just go over for a consolation try to make it 46 points to 26 with the kick to come. State of Origin stars backing up. I do think the Sharks have the slight advantage when it comes to the Origin stars backing up. The Broncos obviously had quite a few in the team. Reece Walsh had a big game in State of Origin. Is he going to be able to back it up, or are we going to get the brain fart, error-prone Reece Walsh that we quite often see at Clubland? The little son of a bitch, and I mean that quite literally. The guy's tiny, but boy, did he play above his size on Wednesday night. I always say here, we have to give credit where credit is due, and you've got to give credit to that little son of a bitch on Wednesday night. He certainly... He put in a performance to remember for Queensland. And yeah, hopefully that's his game done and dusted, and he's back to being fairly average tonight. Hopefully, for my Sharks' sake. We can only hope. But the Sharks, they are not without problems of their own. That's James Tedesco. That's Joey Manu. All right. I obviously didn't finish setting up the talking points. Not to worry. Anyways, the other big news leading into tonight is the scoreboard, the leaderboard. The Wasted Water Sports VIP leaderboard is resetting. Everything goes back to 0. It was meant to happen last week, but we had a little bit of an issue getting hold of our special guest announcer to announce the winner from the previous period. So I extended it a little bit. I had to give everyone an extra week. But if you're there, Vobsy, because I think it's pretty obvious that you won, we've reset the leaderboard tonight, and we'll go ahead and we will do your announcement. I will play it again at halftime, of course, as the Titans just cough the ball up on halfway. 30 seconds to go in this game. Rabbitohs, 46 points to 28. But yes, if Vobsy is there, we will get it out of the way early. The official announcement that he has gone back-to-back in VIP leaderboard rounds. Oh, we will reset load and we'll see. Can anybody knock him off? That's the thing, Vobsy. He could be on a high. Nicho Hynes could be on a little bit of a low, because poor Nicho Hynes was Wolves on Wednesday night. I had been saying, and look, I'm not proud of the fact that I was right, but I'd been saying in the lead up, you play Nicho or you don't play him. He doesn't sit on the bench and take up a spot. And Freddie Fittler had that poor guy sitting on the bench for 70 minutes almost, 68 minutes, and then he throws him into the game at centre. Throws him in at centre, of all places. He makes a horrible defensive read. Of course he was going to make a horrible defensive read. He's never played there before, let alone with 10 minutes to go in a big game like State of Origin. And yeah, a couple of handling errors and a big defensive misread. And Nicho Hynes had 10 minutes to forget in Origin. And it was a very deflated-looking sight seeing him walk out of the dressing sheds after the game. He was one of the first players to leave, what I understand. One of the first players to leave after the game, and a very dejected-looking sight it was for poor Nicho. So you could be right there, Vobsy. Reece Walsh could be flying high with confidence and momentum coming into tonight's game, and poor Nicho could be shot pieces. How those two players back up, pretty much what may dictate the result of this game. Broncos have got a couple of outs. Sharks have got a couple of big ins. But yeah, in my opinion, State of Origin Game 2, Nicho Hynes starts. Or don't have him in the squad. And I was saying that in the entire lead-up to the game. And sometimes I just hate it when I'm right. And I hate very much to be proven right on such a big stage like State of Origin. But I can't help being right. I'm sorry. Anyway, Wasted Water Sports leaderboard for the second time in a row. Vobsy, congratulations, mate. Let's see. What have we got in store for you here?
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletch, and the wasted world of sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You've got to go collect your first one, actually. So, $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
Yes, there we go. Congratulations, Vopsy. We did have to push that back a week. Fletcher's a very busy man. Sure, you can imagine. Very busy guy. It's very hard to get him for 30 seconds or so. But second time in a row, Vopsy flying away out the top of the leaderboard. Can anybody stop this man? Seriously. Can anybody stop him from going 3 in a row? Time will tell. All the scoreboard has reset, so it's all fair game. Everybody's back on. All right, we are into the 10-minute countdown. Coming up, Sharks, Broncos. Let's talk about some sports betting. I got an exclusive promotion from PointsBet, a maximum bet of $50, and they've given me odds of $1.90 for both teams, 1+ try score in each half. Doesn't matter who scores it, it's just each team scores once each in both halves. And that's a win for me. Harley Malone, ahoy there, and welcome along to the Wasted World of Sports. So I couldn't help but take that one up. I've got another little hot tip for you, but Will Kennedy, I would say anytime try scorer if you want to play it safe. I'm also going to say first try scorer. You want to have a real good risky bet. Will Kennedy, first try scorer, or anytime try scorer if you want. First try scorer is paying a lot more, of course. I believe last time I looked, Will Kennedy's paying $11 for first try scorer, and he's probably around the $2.50 to $3 mark, maybe $3.20, something like that for any time try scorer. Still very good odds on Will Kennedy there for any time try scorer. He's been spending a little bit of time throughout the week with the one and only David Peachey. And if the one and only David Peachey can't get your fullback up for a big performance, then I don't know what will. Club legend, rugby league legend, the Peach. Been spending a little bit of time there with Will Kennedy, so I expect a big game from him. So that's where the smart money is for me. I've taken my exclusive promo from PointsBet, and I'm also looking very heavily at Will Kennedy to do some damage. First try scorer or any time try scorer. Take your pick there. Whatever you're personally feeling most attached to, I suppose, most confident in. For the Broncos, a little bit harder to pick. It'll be a low-scoring affair. We've just had a really big point-scoring fest here, Souths and the Titans. So maybe I'm thinking unders for this game coming up as well. NRL with Braden, ahoy there, mate. Maybe unders as well, so that'd be another one to keep an eye out. But Will Kennedy, welcome back, Gamer Mel, and there is Michelle as well. Yes, Michelle, not here tonight. Oh, Michelle's not already angry. She is still angry. She hasn't stopped being angry since about 10 minutes to go Wednesday night. Gamer Mel, you missed Fletch. Do you want to see Fletch?
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletch, and the wasted world of sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You've got to go collect your first one, actually. So, $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
I'll play that again at halftime. I've got to try and pick the best moments to play those so that more people see them. More people that see them, the more they might be enticed to want to win one as well. Somebody's got to knock Bobsy off the top. Twice in a row he's won it. Ahmed, ahoy there, mate. How are you going? 2 times in a row is very impressive. Just a few minutes away from kickoff here. Sharks, Broncos. Another one of the Sharkies' big bogey teams. Let's see, what happens if I turn these lights out? They're shining very bright into my face. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, look, I really don't want to get into too many discussions about State of Origin. Especially when we're only a couple of minutes away from kickoff in this one. Maybe at halftime I'll be more willing to talk about it a little bit more, but I don't think the baby needs to be thrown out with the bathwater, so to speak. Let's not throw the toys out of the cot. I don't think it's panic stations. Couple of things. Okay, Nicho Hynes was a waste of space. Bench in 15. And it was pretty clear that Brad Fittler had absolutely no idea how to utilize him. So free up that bench spot for somebody that used. Who is the fastest NRL player? Well, they reckon it's Jason Saab, don't they? Jason Saab, by all reports I've heard. Yes, Jason Saab. Look, at the end of the day, with what's it been, 3 days? With 3 days to sort of reflect and review, it's very easy to retaliate by just blowing the entire place up, starting again. I don't think that needs to happen. For 70 minutes, well, maybe not the first 10 minutes, so maybe for 60 minutes. For 60 minutes out of the 80, New South Wales far and away the better of the teams. It's just a couple of little tweaks. Like I said, Nicho Hynes was wasted on the bench. Complete waste of a space on the bench. He either starts, and he starts in his regular position, he doesn't play at all. You have somebody on there that can actually utilize a bench spot. Because, quite honestly, Sharks fan, and I love Nicho Hynes, but Brad Fittler had no idea what to do with him. Cameron Munster completely blitzes him on the outside, defending in a position that he should never have been defending in the first place, which leads to the go-ahead try. Nicho Hynes came up with the handling error that put Maroons in the position in the first place to ice the game. He had a really, really poor 10 minutes, and I don't blame him for that. He was thrown to the wolves. He was absolutely thrown to the wolves last night. But the reality of the situation is, of the 80 minutes, the Blues were far and away the better of the teams. They were dominating field position, they were dominating territory. They just couldn't ice the moments. Queensland, on the other hand, they iced every single opportunity given. Every single opportunity that came their way, it just felt like it was going to happen. But anyways, the teams are ready to come out here. Broncos, Sharks. The Broncos have had the wood on the Sharks for the past 9 or so years. As Alfie Langer's given the butt slaps on the way out to as many people as he possibly can. Broncos out onto the field to a chorus of boos you would expect here at PointsBet Stadium. It feels so weird to be calling a Broncos game, not at Suncorp. That's going to take some getting used to, so do forgive me if I reference Suncorp Stadium a fair bit tonight. Just so not used to happening. Jack of Hearts, ahoy mate, how you doing? But it's very good to have the real footy back. The exhibition stuff is over, as I said at the top of the stream. And we're back into regular round robin club footy. Eddie 88 in Fiji. Ahmed asks, best rookie. Well, it's a bit early to be handing awards like that out, in my opinion. All right, let's go. Let's get this game underway. Bet Stadium, Sharks, Broncos. Sharks kicking off. Let me know your multis. Let me know your bets. Anything you've got on, and we are off and running here. Broncos will get first use of it. And it's Katoni Staggs with the first hit up, and that is some big contact. Dare I say that was a more intense start to the game than the Origin was on Wednesday night. That was a huge collision. Staggs and the Sharks defenders. Graham Yamby, ahoy there, mate. Broncos go for first try. I've got Will Kennedy first try scorer. That's my hot tip. As a risky offload up towards the halfway line by the Broncos, it pays off for them. They don't really make any meters for it, but they still hold on to the ball. And it's Flegler. He going to get sent off tonight. Fifth and last, a good first set from the Broncos. Reynolds puts it high. Pressure on Mulatalo. Ahmed says the best NRL rookie player is Reece Walsh. Well, Reece Walsh is a bit beyond rookie now. I consider a rookie to be, they're playing their first season of NRL football. And Reece Walsh is a bit beyond that, mate. As Sharks now have got their first use of the footy, and we go to the Shack of Hearts around the grounds. The Fijian Drua have qualified for the finals in Super Rugby for the very first time with a 41 points to 17 win over the Queensland Reds in Suva. What a moment that is. I mean, that is huge. Congratulations to the Fijian Drua qualifying for the Super Rugby finals. Now that's going to be worth watching, I reckon. Now that it's into the business end of the Super Rugby season, I reckon we start patching into some of those games right here on the Wasted World of Sports. The Hurricanes have edged the Crusaders 27-26 in Wellington. Interesting developments there in the Super Rugby as they approach finals time. Walsh getting involved a lot in the play early. He would be very, very confident after Wednesday night as Reynolds puts this one high. Almost a little too deep, but it's perfectly positioned. And there is Will Kennedy. Those of you who weren't here at the top of the stream, I was talking about Will Kennedy, and he's been spending some time with David Peachy during the week. And if you're a fullback, the Peach is one hell of a brain to be picking apart tips on fullback play, that's for sure. And the first penalty of the night will go to the home team. Offside, up a little bit too quickly there. Curtis Capewell. Goes too enthusiastic on that occasion. The Sharks up over halfway now. Hunt with the offload. Back to Hynes. Hynes is running, trying to spot a gap. He needs his confidence back. Big time. I'm so worried about that, what it might have done to him. Tackle 2. Sharks, 35 out here. Here's the play. It's out the back. Now to Ramian. And the play will die with Ramian, as it often does. And that's a horrible play, the ball. Oh, 6 more tackles. A ruck infringement. It was also a disaster of a play, the ball. Eel fries, ahoy, mate. Tackle 1 here for the Sharks. Oh, and Hynes. You just get the feeling early. The confidence is shot. Poor Nicho. That Origin experience has just ruined him. It's early in this game. I'm not writing him off by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, these first 5 minutes, he looks very, very, very deer in headlights. Tackle 4, Moylan's brought down. They're 5 out. They're not really offering anything here, the Sharks. 5th and last, Broncos. They've still got a full, completely intact defensive line. Moylan puts the grubber in. It's a terrible kick. It's the worst kick you'll ever see. And it pops up for the Broncos, and they race away, but they won't have the pace to get there. He might have the power, though. He's holding Kennedy up, and Kennedy finally gets some mates across. And, oh, Matt Moylan. A couple of big errors from Moylan, and there is the first try. It's Kotoni Staggs. And Matt Moylan with a couple of really suspect plays early in this game. Kotoni Staggs, I think he has seen the events of Wednesday night, and he has realized there's a real opportunity. A real opportunity at Origin level. Because Kotoni Staggs, he has been up for this contest very, very early on. And the Broncos hoodoo continues for the Sharks. Looking very flat-footed. It's going to be very hard to knock off Queensland teams at the moment, though, isn't it? Queensland Rugby League is riding high. Winning the men's State of Origin. Winning the women's State of Origin. Mind you, the Titans were pretty crap. Titans were crap today, though, so don't you worry about that. Reynolds can't hook this one around, and it stays 4 points to 0. A dream start for the Broncos off the back of a terrible kick. Matt Moylan, how many times over the past 2 seasons of Wasted World of Sports have I said, why, for the love of God, is Matt Moylan doing any 5th tackle kicking? Why? And once again, it has cost the Sharks big time. Heel Fry says, if you do in Toxigamer, play Amanda the Adventurer. It's good. Amanda the Adventurer. Back underway we go. And it's Staggs taking the kickoff. Payne Haas with a big run. Dragging Brayley across the ground for post-contact meters. Carrigan backing up from a big game on Wednesday night. For the Broncos, they had a lot more players involved on Wednesday. It could be going the 80 minutes that will be the difficulty for them. We'll see. Time will tell. Still early in this one. Naturally. But geez, look at the meters they're putting in. Haas with a big run. And they've gone about 80 meters on that set, the Broncos. Reynolds down the blind side, running, creating space, and then he's chopped down. Matt Moylan. There, trying to make up for his kicking deficiency. Defense. It's all the Broncos in the first 10 minutes here. Yes, It's an 80-minute game, as the Blues found out on Wednesday night. 80-minute game. You can be the best team for 60, but if you crap the other 20, you're probably going to come out on the losing end. Can they keep up this enthusiasm, this pace, a full 80, when a lot of their squad are pulling double duty here? As the Sharks kick on tackle 4, it's a nothing burger of a kick from Hynes. Yet there is a man really down on confidence. Nicho Hynes has been destroyed by Brad Fittler and his usage in State of Origin. I hate to say it, but it could be a few weeks before Nicho finds his feet again. And that spells bad news for the Sharkies. 6 again. And the Broncos now on the attack. They will be at the back end of this set. Payne Haas. Where were these runs for the Blues on Wednesday night, huh? Big Payne? Can I ask that question? "20 out from the line again. The Broncos. Carrigan out wide. Reynolds will kick in behind the line. And that would have been a try, but Jesse Arthurs cannot hold on to it. He's claiming that it's come off the Sharks, but it looked like a pretty clear knock on. It looked like a pretty clear knock on by Jesse Arthurs here on my brand new big screen television, by the way. I never did get to show off on Wednesday night the new studio setup. Yes, this fantastic new setup is perfect for watching footy. Mulatalo's racing back. He does not have any eyes for the ball there, Mulatalo. Oh, he's put his arm up, though. And I would have to say now, regardless of how big the TV screen is, it's hard to see stuff in live action, isn't it? Because this has been touched by Mulatalo into the face of Arthurs. Mulatalo with an epic try-saver. This will probably be a dropout, I suspect, huh? A goal line dropout, and look at the touchy over there on the left-hand side. He's like, told ya. Bloody good call by the touchy. The Broncos well on top here early in this contest. It has been all the Bronx in the first 10, and now Finucane with a terrible offload loses the ball and gives possession back. Oh, the Sharks, this is dire. This is supposed to be 2 versus 3 on the table, and this is just a jolly shit show that they're throwing up at the moment inside this first 10 minutes. The Sharks. Reserve grade stuff by Finucane, of all people. One of the most experienced heads in the team is also apparently one of the biggest goofs, because that was completely unnecessary. That was so unnecessary, he probably should get a call up to the Blues squad. And the Broncos again to launch an attack. 78% territory in favor of the Broncos as Walters now goes straight through. Oh, they're just annihilating them. They're just destroying the Sharks here. I said it at the top of the stream. They're a bogey team. The Sharks have only won twice in the last 9 years against the Broncos, and it's not looking good first 11 minutes here as Reynolds straightens the attack in front of the posts on tackle 4. They're 10 out. Flegler almost goes on his own. Flegler, 5th and last. Out to the left they go. Mam cuts back inside to Capewell, and he's chopped down in a 2-man tackle, and that was the wrong decision there. Where was Reynolds? Reynolds would have been that ball. Brayley finds some space out of dummy half, and that's a good run, and they need more of that, the Sharks. 3rd tackle, but they're going nowhere in a hurry. Still trapped deep inside their own half. Up to the 40-metre line on tackle 4. Fifth and last, midfield on halfway. Can they offer something up here with the kick? Hynes hooks it into the corner. Awkward bounce, but it's taken by Arthurs. And again, winning the field position here. The Broncos. Dags down the blind side. Arthurs with second involvement. They're up to halfway again on tackle 3. Meters are coming here at will for the Broncos. Carrigan out the back to man. Now Walsh is involved. Double pumps it. There's space on the outside. And Oates is taken in a great cover tackle by Ramian and Kennedy. These meters that the Broncos are chewing up. Fifth and last, they're 20 out from the Sharks line again. Man, there's nobody at the back here. Oh, Katoa gets across and saves the day. And now he beats 2. He beats 3, Katoa. There was absolutely nobody at the back there for the Sharks. Ezra Mam with the presence to see it. But the pace of Katoa just getting back. There were 3 Broncos lining up there that would have scored that try had Katoa not plucked that one out of the air. Now Hynes sets Mulatalo away down the left. Kennedy on the inside. It's a terrible pass from Mulatalo. Oh, if that pass goes out in front of him, he glides around under the post. But Mulatalo throws it about 3 feet behind him. And that shuts the play down. But now the Sharks with some front foot ball. Ramian shrugs off the first tackle. Gets the offload away. Forward, they say. And Kafusi goes forward. Marching forward to a metre out on the 5th and last. Hynes puts a much better kick in this time. And what a difference it is when you've got Nicho Hynes taking the 5th tackle kicking option as opposed to Matt Moylan. I mean, I'm sorry, Matt Moylan. I know that I hang a lot on that guy every single week. But what a difference it is. And Mulatalo, one quality pass away from a try under the post there, the Sharks. And it was a stinker from Mulatalo. It really was. Now does Reynolds go short here? He does. It's a high, short dropout. And Hynes has made a meal of it, just like he did at Origin. Lucky this time it goes backwards, though, and the Sharks come down with the ball. And will that little moment just start to bring Wednesday night back into his head? I hope not. Finucane inside sideline, and he's taken. And they've just scored 3 tackles here, the Sharks. Gone nowhere. Hynes, short ball, knocked on. Broncos ball. And it's just not happening here for the Sharks. The bye teams either come back from the bye, fired up, and they play better than they ever have before. Like the Panthers, for example. Sharks, they've come back from the bye week really, really clunky here. Oh, jeez, I was laughing in that previous game. Not at the fact that somebody got injured. Laughing at the fact that the sideline commentator, who I want to say in the last game, but it Hoops on the sideline, it might have been James Hooper on the sideline. I can't recall, but whoever the sideline / dressing room commentator was giving a report on the Cameron Murray injury, and he's like, all reports here are that Cameron Murray felt a little bit of pop and a little pull on the groin. Like, oh, he felt a little pull on the groin, did he? Fresh travels. Ahoy there, mate. So, yeah, poor Cameron Murray, a little bit of a pull on the groin. Be out for a long long while. Oh, and that was the other thing they said. Talking about soft tissue injuries. All connected to that same conversation. Gamer Mel says, did my previous comment come up? I don't think so, because I don't recall what it might have been. Yeah, how am I... That's actually, now that I think about it, now that I've said that, how am I supposed to know if it came up or not? Cut out pass here from Hynes is a good one, and it puts Katoa into space. But a great tackle by Oates. Cuts him down. Fifth and last, the Sharks, they're running it. I'm not sure that was the right idea. They've kept it alive. It's back to Kennedy. Kennedy puts it high. Pressure on the kick chase is good. And now the Broncos find themselves pinned down their own end, a couple of meters out from the line, really for the first time ever in this game. And now, on the back of that, a penalty. Just as I was saying, they're pinned down here for the first time in the game so far. We have found a penalty to bring them out of this end and put them up to halfway. Mulatalo's on report. Unfortunate crusher, but that's the way the rules have been interpreted this year. If you put any contact at all towards the back of the neck, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. And Mulatalo finds himself in that very situation right there. So forget about that. Forget about the Broncos being pinned down on their own goal line for the first time. So, well, that is as forward as you will ever see a pass from dummy half. I mean, honestly, Billy Walters has just thrown the most forward pass that you will ever see in the history of the sport from dummy half. And not even a hint of it being called from any of the on-field officials. Oh, I can't believe what I've just witnessed. I've accidentally tuned into the NFL. And Kennedy does well at the back to cover up the kick. Gamer Mel said apparently if you have just $1 on your account, you can watch any sport. Or if it's true. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard anything like that, Gamer Mel. I know you can watch you can tune into the horse racing, greyhounds and that live. Now Nikra, flick pass on the inside to Katoa. Katoa can't break away from Esmam. Fifth and last, now the Sharks trapped inside their own half. Gets the offload away. Now they've got numbers out to the left as the Broncos were setting up for the kick. And Mulatalo on the overlap again. Can he come up with a better option this time? He just does. He does. He goes to ground, takes the tackle. Fifth and last, the Sharks, 20 out, front football. Hynes throws it back to Moylan, and Moylan spews it out the front. Oh, boy, is this guy terrible. Matt Moylan. And it is just not... You can tell that the Sharks have had a week off. I don't think they trained on the bye week. I really, really don't think they trained in their off week. Matt Moylan is having an absolute stinker here tonight. Round the grounds with the Shack of Hearts. Moana Pacifica have scored a try to go ahead against the Waratahs. 12 points to 7. Kick to come there, Shack of Hearts, or... And more, now Reece Walsh has thrown a forward pass that was less forward than Billy Walters' one from dummy half, and it's been called. Oh, I'm going to leave it up to you guys out there, you guys and gals and gender non-specifieds, to tell me. You tell me, because I've got no idea. I can't keep up anymore. Forward passes are not called, and then a less forward one is called, and there's crushes and there's not crushes, and there's hip drops. I'm just going to leave it up to you. I'm not even going to try and keep up with what the rulings are. Anyways, maybe it was just a little bit of a square up. They've realised how bad that missed call on the Billy Walters pass was. But anyways, it is the Sharks with the ball. Hynes finds Talakai on the short ball, and Talakai is unmarked. There's nobody at the back there for the Broncos. And what has just happened there? From the scrum, Nicho Hynes just ghosting across the field. And the big sofa comes rampaging forward. Right through a gap. They're all marked up here. It's 3-on-3. There's actually 2 defenders on Talakai, and not one single player, Arthurs or Stags, managed to get a hand on him. Nicho Hynes has just schooled Adam Reynolds there. Halfback play. Nicho Hynes, he's just like, move aside, old man. It's new generation. And just like that, scores are all square, in spite of Matt Moylan. It must be said. I can't resist a little have a go at Matt Moylan, can I? Most line break assists. 2023 Premiership season. Interesting to see some of the people up the top of that list there. 4 points all, kick to come just to the left of the post. Hynes moves in, puts it right over the middle. And the Sharks find themselves on top here after 23 minutes. And it was Hynes, Nicho Hynes, getting on the outside of the old dog, Adam Reynolds. Six points, 4-4, Sharkies. Jeez, hey. Talakai looks like he's dropped some kilograms. I mean, I know he's been out for a few weeks, but... Oh, now Moylan nearly drops the ball from the kickoff. Oh, for the love of God, Fitzy. Fitzy, do what a coach does. And please get Matt Moylan off the field before he costs the Sharks this game. Braden Trindle is on the reserves bench. He just needs to get activated. Somebody go down with a head injury from a high tackle and get that 18th man activated and get Trindle out on the field ASAP. He's nearly done a Ben Hunt from the kickoff. Hynes down the blind side, links up with Ramian. And Ramian, they're 30 metres out, and this has been a good set from the Sharks, 67 metres off it. Hynes puts the ball high. It's above the stadium. Reece Walsh moves forward and takes it. Oh, he's playing with immense confidence, Reece Walsh. That's the sort of high ball that Reece Walsh would have absolutely buggered up before Origin. He's got into camp with Billy Slater for a couple of weeks, and he's come out the other side. Just an absolutely unbelievable player. A player that you would actually want on your team. Fifth and last, the Broncos now suddenly stuck in quicksand. Only 30 metres off that set. And it's the Sharks. All the momentum. Losing that one out the back. Hynes swips on it. It's still play one. Hynes puts Kennedy into a big gap on the outside. He slowed down. Everybody slowed down. That confused everybody, even myself. That reminds me of playing footy at high school. That always wasn't real. One kid that just wanted to hang out. He was your mate, and he just wanted to hang out. Now Moylan puts the crossfield kick in. Does it bounce up for Mulatalo? It does. He pops it back in field, and it goes into touch, and it will be off the Sharks and Broncos ball. Although it looks like the touch judge is suggesting it's come off Adam Reynolds. It's come off Adam Reynolds. And it's going to be Sharks ball. You know how there was always that one kid when you'd be playing footy at the park or at the yard? There'd be that one kid, he didn't really care about footy, but he was your mate and he'd want to hang out, so he'd be part of it, and he'd get the ball, sort of meander up. I really want to be here. And nobody really knew what to do because you're used to somebody moving in slow motion on a footy field. That's what just happened there with Will Kennedy. He slowed down. All the Broncos defenders slowed down. And now it's the Sharks, 5 meters out again. Tackle 4, Finucane in front of the posts. They go to the left. Moylan out the back to Hynes. Talakai, it's been touched by the Broncos. It's now been lost over the sideline by Hynes, but it's been knocked on by the Broncos, and it will be another full set of 6 here. Tony Staggs knocking the ball on. No, it wasn't. It was Jesse Arthurs. Bobsy says Will Kennedy tried to pull a Joey Manu, but he doesn't have the acting skill required. Don't mess with Texas. Ahoy. How are you, mate? At halftime, for those of you who didn't see it at the top of the stream, at halftime, I will be playing the special guest announcer announcing the here goes the Sharks. They pop the pass out the back to nobody. And the Broncos will get the ball back. Yes, at halftime, which is in approximately 12 minutes, we will play a special message, a very special guest. We had to push it back a week. Supposed to be last week. I've already played it a couple of times at the top of the stream, so if you know, you know. You don't know, halftime, that's coming up to announce the latest winner of the VIP leaderboard, which is now reset tonight, by the way. It has been reset, so the new round starts tonight. And yes, I will pass back over to our special, very, very special guest announcer. As I said, we had to push it back a week because he's a very busy man. I mean, he's busy with Fox Sports, busy with the podcasts and radio appearances. A very, very busy man. And we had to push it back a week so that we had time for him to actually do that for us, which we very much appreciate. Finding the time to do it and play along the way that he did as well. Unlike a certain Brandon Smith, who just really, really couldn't bollocks one way or the other. But anyways, yes, it has reset. Can Vobsy get a three-peat? He's going for 3 in a row, Vobsy. Sharks, they're starting to click into gear here. Finucane with the hit up. They're back into Broncos territory. Hynes kicking on tackle 4. In behind the line. That sets up nicely for Arthurs, and Moylan's overrun it like the great goof that he is. And a lazy attempted tackle there from Moylan. And Matt Moylan is single-handedly keeping the Broncos in this game at the moment. You hate to throw it all on one player, but honestly, everyone else is starting to just get into their game now. Finucane's had his cock-up. Oh, and speaking of cock-ups, the Broncos have just dropped the ball. It's Tapau. And now the Sharks get the ball back 20 meters out. And now the Sharks with a 6 again. It is a full set. They're 10 meters out on 0 tackle. Hynes out the left to Moylan. Moylan stepping, going on his own. Jack Williams is on the park. He's a meter out. It's tackle 2. Hynes. Wade Graham's out on the field too. Tackle 3, Sharkies. Hynes, short ball in the quarter. Still a metre out. Racing through this set. Brayley fires a terrible pass. How can you expect a big man like Braden Hamlin to catch that? Brayley, you big goof. Well, little goof. Marty Tapau gives them the gift. They throw it away. They say, no, thank you. We don't want the gift. You guys have the ball back. This is pretty much a game where whoever's going to win the game is basically the team up their act the quickest. And historically, as a Shark supporter, that's never us. If we start a game like this, we typically finish a game like this. So if the Broncos can pull it together at halftime, I have them as slight favourites, even though they're behind by 2 at the moment. Because I've been supporting the Sharks long enough to know that the Sharks don't turn a game around within the game itself, if that makes sense. It's going to be a back to the type of affair. And they might come out firing the next week. Very rarely, if ever, do the Sharks turn a game around and clean up errors within the same game itself. If you're picking up what I'm throwing down there. Around the grounds in Super Rugby, Shack of Hearts. 19-7 Moana Pacifica over the Waratahs. The high ball for the Broncos here is nullified by Mulatalo. And a very slim-looking Talakai. I can't help but notice that Talakai has really trimmed down coming into this week. That little bit of layoff has obviously done him well. He's been working out, getting himself in shape. Jeez, I probably should do that myself. Huh? I have a couple of weeks off. Get myself into... no, bugger it. That's too much effort. All right, Kennedy's got the ball back. Skipping around in the midfield. Kennedy gets away from a couple of forwards, but he's still going crossfield, looking for somebody to link up with. Katoa's in a little bit of trouble here on the near side. 5th and last, and for some reason it's gone to Moylan. Why? Terrible kick, and Mulatalo knocks the ball on, and the Broncos come away with it. And just another wasted 5th tackle option from the Sharks. Zoe plays, ahoy! How are you? Hey, Zoe, have you heard the rumours? Oh, that's a flat pass across the face of the defence. And Oates scampers away. Only Kennedy to beat. He puts the kick in. It bounces up for Ezra Mam, and Ezra Mam will score in the corner. But there is no plausible way on God's green earth that was not a forward pass. It just rolled so far across the face of the defence. And the Broncos have stolen one there. Okay. I thought he lost it out the front. No, it's a bounce pass. And it sits up for Oates. And then they just had them skinned from that point. Ezra Mam gets the perfect bounce. And put that down once again. The 5th tackle option of Matt Moylan was just a waste of a play. No pressure on the Broncos at all. They come back down the other end of the field and they score. And Reynolds is going to miss the conversion from far out. So it's only going to be 2 points the difference. But still, put that down to the Matt Moylan 5th tackle option being absolutely disastrous as always. But yes, anyway, Zoe plays. The rumours may possibly be true. There are whispers abound that Intoxiblocks may very well be returning very, very soon. Huh? How does that sound? All right, here we go. Adam Reynolds, is he going to make a goof out of me? Because I called him to miss this kick. Oh, he's hooking it back. He's hooking it back. He's hooking it back. Yes, he is going to make a goof out of me. Reynolds converts it straight over the middle of the post from out wide. 10 points to 6. And honestly, put that down to Matt Moylan and his fifth tackle kicking options. Why is he getting the ball on tackle 5? The very first thing that Fitzy needs to do at halftime is say, Matt Moylan never gets the goddamn ball on tackle 5. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Four minutes to go until halftime. It was all the Broncos in the first 10 minutes. It was then all Sharks for the next 20 minutes. And now the Broncos have wrestled that momentum back going into the halftime break. Well on top here. They present to the Sharks with a gift. The Sharks said, you know what? Thank you. We don't want it. You guys have the ball back. That's fine. Up and now, loose play by the Broncos. Reece Walsh gets the ball away. They keep it alive here, the Broncos. Playing with confidence. Playing with ambition. Kapow. The offload away again. And now they've got them outnumbered here to the right. They slide across, though. And shut this down on tackle 4. But from a loose pass, they score a try. From another loose pass, they've just made excessive meters up the middle. 64 meters off this set after struggling to really go anywhere. And that is a very, very disappointing end of set for the Broncos occasion. Don't mess with Texas. There's Moylan back for the Blue. Did we establish if that ever happened before? I seem to recall us having conversations whether Matt Moylan had a representative career. A kick on the third tackle in behind the Broncos line. It sits up for Walsh. He's read it perfectly. And he brings it back with interest. Oh, Reece Walsh. No, he's okay. It looked like he was in a little bit of pain there when he fell to the ground, but he's just having a little hissy fit. Two minutes to go till the break. Tapau with another offload. And once again, just making meters at absolute will here. The Broncos. The last 10 minutes of the half, much the same as the first 10 minutes. This has been very much like State of Origin, hasn't it? A try out of nowhere, and suddenly the Broncos just right on top. The chip and chase is going to be another try here for the Broncos. Jesse Arthurs has scored the try in the corner. Mulatalo can't save the day this time. And the Broncos have been dead ducks hanging in a Chinese shop window for about 60 minutes. But for the other 20, they're going to find themselves 10 points ahead going in half-time. Because Adam Reynolds is not going to have any issues converting this one. And the Sharks learning the hard way. Once again, you've got to play for 40 minutes each half. From the right-hand sideline, Reynolds testing the grass, testing the wind with the grass, I should say. I wrote him off last time from the other side of the field. He made a goof of me. I'm not going to do that again. He's going to kick this very easily. He moves in, he strikes it, he puts it right. Oh, no, it's hooking away. And he misses. And it's 14 points to 6 in favor of the Broncos at halftime. A really undeserved 8-point lead in the context of the game. And Brayley's on report for a hip drop, on whatever that means. Whatever a hip drop is. I don't think any of us actually know. But 14 points to 6, the Broncos. Yes, I did say an undeserved lead. The Sharks have been on top for 60 minutes of the game. They just couldn't take their opportunities. Look at the stats at halftime and tell me that they deserve to be ahead by 8 points. I mean, I know that you love them and everything, but I mean, you've got to be realistic about statements that are made. Two of their tries have been against the run of play. The Sharks have been dominating territory and possession. It's an undeserved 8-point lead. Shack of Hearts says, do you think Brayley is lucky to escape with only a penalty, plus on report and not in the sin bin? I've got no opinion either way, Shack of Hearts. I don't know what a hip drop is. I don't know what a hip drop is anymore. I mean, I think had Reece Walsh stayed down and milked the penalty, he probably, because it was called on report for a hip drop, he probably would have got 10 in the bin. But the fact that play went on, you can't go back and sin bin him now. Multiple plays ago. On report, and the match review committee will look after it, but we're basically at a point now in the game where you can't, if a player gets on the outside of you, gets around you in any capacity, as Reece Walsh just did, Reece Walsh got around Brayley. His only option was then to tackle him from behind, but if you tackle anybody from behind now, it's considered a hip drop because you fall on their legs. We're basically now in a position where to play the sport, you can't tackle anybody from behind. You've basically just got to let them go. You've got to let them go, or you risk a penalty, or having 10 in the bin, or being on report. If the player gets any way in front of you, you need to just let them go and trust your cover defense. That's the way that the game's gone. And look at what happened the other night with not the other night, the other game, I mean. Look at what happened the other game. The Raiders and the Tigers. You can't even attempt to charge down a drop goal anymore in case you clip the legs of the kicker. The Tigers clipped the legs of the kicker, give away a penalty, give away the match. I mean, it's essentially... The sport is essentially turning into OzTag. We may as well play touch footy. Why don't we? Why don't we just play touch footy? Touch footy's exciting to watch. Does anyone ever watch touch footy? It's actually a pretty exciting watch. I don't mind it. But that's what we're turning into here. Yeah, I mean, that's it, Shack of Arts. I mean, I guess, yeah, you can't dive. You can't leave your feet if you want to attempt a charge down. You can't tackle anyone from behind anymore. So it's, but those are instincts. Those are instincts that are never going to be removed from the game. How can they be removed from the game? It's instinct. Yeah, when you're trying to charge the ball down, you're trying to get as high up and as much of an angle over the top of the ball as possible. Stands to reason you're probably going to beat. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just upset because That game cost me a tip, and the Raiders were cheating whole game for the entire game. Every time the Tigers got down inside Raiders territory, they would just give away 6 agains until the Tigers made a mistake. It took 70 minutes for the referee to finally do something about it and send one of the Raiders to the sin bin. Should never have taken 70 minutes for a Raider to be in the sin bin in the game. That was their tactic. We'll just give away the 6 agains. They're going to make a mistake. Yes, okay. Part of that is on the Tigers making mistakes. I get that. But at the same time, you should never be purposely giving away infringement as a tactic. And that's what the 6 agains have created. They've created the opportunity for smart coaches and smart teams to purposely give away infringements tactically. And that should never be. Any sort of negative play should not be part of the game, in my opinion. You're allowed to now tactically give away infringements and get away with it. That's what the Raiders did very, very successfully today. But anyways, halftime here. The Sharks dominated large portion of that first half, but they've got nothing to show for it. Fitzy will be fuming. They're playing like a team that's come off the bye. They're playing like the New South Wales Blues. They just haven't been able to take their opportunities. Whereas the Broncos haven't created any opportunities. They've just taken what's been given to them. So a very delicately poised game here. I'm already going to say the Sharks at 8 points differential will need the first team to score in the second half. I mean, there's no two ways about that. Sharks will have to be the first team to score. Shakapart says playing advantages has always been a thing in rugby, albeit the interpretation is different. Yeah, my problem with rugby union and the advantage rule is the advantage is open to interpretation. Of course, it's up to the referee's interpretation. Here's where I've always had a problem with the advantage rule in rugby. Because basically the advantage is based upon how many meters you make. If you give away an advantage, say you're 5 out from the try line, 5 meters out from the try line, penalty advantage. Okay, that's it. I mean, you can go, and I don't understand why more teams don't do this. You can basically just go through as many phases of play. You could go through 20 phases of play if you want. And you still retain that advantage. So I think in situations like that, when you're that close to the line and meters aren't really the issue, referee should be judgment call and saying, hey, look, you guys have had 10 phases of play here to create something out of this. You haven't. Sorry, that's not on me. You dropped the ball. It was a simple error. You've knocked it on. We're not coming back 10 phases. That's where I have a problem with the... But, look, at the same time, don't give away the advantage. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? But that's always bothered me. 5 out from the line, the advantage is never ending because it's based on meters. Give away an advantage 50 meters up the field. You make one little sidestep and break the tackle. Advantage over. The other thing that's always got on my nerves is is the kick. If you've got advantage and you decide to kick the ball, I understand that a bad kick is advantage, but if you want to risk the play, kick the ball away, and you kick it 50 meters upfield, whether it goes straight down somebody's throat or not, I'm sorry, but advantage over. Anyway, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and it's completely unrelated to the which we're watching right here at the moment. Wasted World of Sports, halftime here, 14 points to 6. Still anybody's game. The Broncos have been extremely lucky with a couple of their tries. And the Sharks have been dominating the rest of the game, but just don't have the points to show for it. Simple errors absolutely killing them at the moment and keeping the Broncos with the advantage. And that little period, that 7 or 8 minutes before halftime, oh, absolutely shack of hearts, yes. One exception to the rule is always foul play. Foul play from a team supersedes everything. 100%. 100%. J. Joe, ahoy there. All right. So, Wasted World of Sports, I'm going to have a quick break for halftime. Let's once again say a big congratulations to Vopsy for his most recent victory. Wasted World of Sports VIP competition.
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletcher, and the Wasted World of Sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You've got to go collect your first one, actually. So, $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
All right, halftime here, 14-6 Broncos. We'll be back for all the second half action shortly. All right. We are ready for the second half, yes. Teams are back out on the field. Take a big second half effort here from the Sharks to count. Can they do it? All right, back underway. Reynolds kick starts us off for the second half. That felt like it really came around quick. What were we thinking about a half time? Kept me occupied for as long. Or was that really of the halftime breaks? Sure. Oh, and there's a lifting tackle. Big solid hit. Put on the Sharks early. Broncos, they have come out with a lot of intensity here to start the second. Up over halfway they go, though, the Sharks. Fitzy would have put the pocket square up him at the break, I'm sure. And now Hynes, little dink in behind the line on tackle 4. Meekly goes over the sideline. Don't help him up. Oh, jeez. Let the little princess get up on his own. Oh, you hate to see that. You hate to see opposition members helping the other team get up off the ground. Probably what in the sheds right too, or in the coach's box. In the coach's box going, I haven't trained them to be this nice for that. Sick of all this friendship. Yeah, you be mates afterwards. I've played footy with mates before. Go out there purposely to smash each other during the game. And of course, you're all mates afterwards. And you have a beer and you have a laugh. And the first penalty of the second half goes to the Broncos. And Reece Walsh is trying to get a little bit cute there. Can't take a quick tap in that scenario, mate. You should know the rules. Yum. Yeah. Did I just say you're yum? You're young. You're dumber than a box of rocks, apparently, as well. Yeah, look, I've played footy against mates a lot of times. You smash each other. Get into it. But then, of course, still mates at the end of it. None of this helping each other up off the ground. Bollocks. Don't like to see that. So, second half, very important for the Sharks. They must be the first team to score. 8 points the difference only. And an unconverted try would make it, obviously, 12. But you don't want to give these guys any sort of sniff of ascendancy. Sharks players placed on report. Well, I know Brayley's one of them. Brayley is definitely one of them. Fourth tackle here for the fifth and last now, Broncos. They are 20 out from the line. They have the first opportunity of the second half, and Reynolds puts a great kick in behind the line. Hynes recovers it. He's way too upright, Nicho Hynes. Nicho Hynes has played fullback before, for God's sake. He knows that you can't stand that far upright and expect to stay in the field of play, surely. Can't believe what I've seen. This is what I'm talking about. Nicho Hynes. He's had some great moments tonight, but overall, I think his confidence got to pieces from Freddie's use of him bench on Wednesday night. That is just basic schoolboy stuff. I mean, we knew that in school grade. If you collect the ball in goal, you don't turn around and try and stand on your tippy toes like Hynes just did. That is a man that's down on confidence. A drop. Knock on here from the Broncos. Jesse Arthurs knocks the ball on. It's going up as a try, but this will get overturned. Telling some porky pies there, Jesse Arthurs. Mind you, this is terrible play from Mulatalo. I told you, Jesse Arthur's telling some porky pies. Claiming it. Latalo just misses it. And it's gone backwards off Latalo anyway. That was pretty obvious from live play. I don't even understand how it was set up as a try. The touch judge on the near side was referee. Quite clearly, it was a knock on. He was in front of the camera going like this. And Mr. Bronco Redhead there, the referee tonight, I'll send it up as a try anyway. The Broncos. It's my Broncos. I'll send it up as a try. Sharks ball off the tap restart. But the second half has started much like the first with the Broncos. All the ascendancy. Big run here from Hamlin Uele. But they need some more forwards to step up. Chew up some meters. That's a better run. That's some good stuff. Up over halfway they go. The Sharks on tackle 2. 40 out from the Broncos line. If they keep this up, they might get an attacking kick away. Nakora goes straight through. Oh, he pops the pass inside, and it's knocked on by the Sharks. If the pass goes to hand once again, the Sharks have created opportunities. They are killing the Broncos here. They've had all the line breaks, all the possession, all the territory, and it's the Broncos who lead by 8. The ankle tap from behind, forcing the error in the pass. Kennedy would have untouched. Great scrambling defense from the Broncos. Six minutes gone here in the second stanza. Eight-point difference. And now, here's the mistake forced from the Broncos. And it's more possession and territory in the danger zone for the Sharks. Huge defense. And the Broncos spill the ball. Matt Moylan just saw that replay on the big screen and was like, Jesus, I can't believe me either. HIA fatigue, Wilton. Just puts a little bit of a pause on the play here. Big moment in the game. We said Sharks needed to be the first to score, and now here comes Hazelton. He looks like a rugby player, Hazelton. You've got to love that. Big lock with his ears taped back. Good sight to see. I can imagine Hazelton in the rugby squad. Playing lock. Tackle 2 here. Sharks 20 out. What are they going to do to balls this up? Let's find out. Williams, big impact there on Ezra Mam. Knocking him backwards. Tackle 3. Now here's the new man. Fresh legs on the field. He's over the line. He's held up by 3 Broncos defenders. On tackle 4, he'll go 10 meters back and play the ball. A couple of tackles up their sleeve here, the Sharks. They go left. Hamlin UA. A nothing play there. Just settling it for the 5th and last. All right. They go right to Hynes. Hynes, it's off the Broncos. Still 5th and last. It's still 5th and last. It's been called, not played at. Can you believe it? The Sharks just can't get a break on these fifth tackle options. I wouldn't burn a challenge on that, though. I wouldn't burn a challenge on that. Those are very best of times. Yeah, geez. The fifth tackle options of the Sharks are just killing them at the moment. And it's been a problem for about 4 seasons now. Oh, that's a terrible pass. It's another bounce pass that's worked out for the Broncos, though. And away they go again. And now Reece Walsh knocks the ball on. Reece Walsh is not happy. He's fired up. But again, the bounce of the ball, kind for the Broncos. What an absolute load of bollocks. Well, it's a forward pass anyway from Ezra Mam. They can't call on a forward pass, though. They can't call on a forward pass. It was a mile forward from Ezra Mam. Yeah, Reece Walsh has knocked the ball on. Touches the fingers on the way through. Right there, he touches it. But it goes. Oh, I can't believe we're still looking at this. He's clearly touched it. Right there, he touches the ball. Sharks ball. Why are we still looking at this? It's a knock-on. It was a forward pass anyway, so that's justice. That was so far forward from Ezra Mam. Why are we still looking at this again? He's touched it. It's gone forward. It's a knock-on. There, he's knocked it on. Right there. My God. I can't believe that we actually had to go through 17 and a half minutes to get to that decision, which is so obvious from one replay. One replay. I could have told you that. I told you that live. And I'm sure there's a few of you who take my word for it in the live call, but we saw one replay and came to that judgment. Why did we just go through... Why do we essentially sit through a half of football to make one decision that was a very easy decision to make? But anyway, the bunker is killing the game. At least they got the right decision this time. They quite often come up with the wrong call. Anyways, it's the Sharks. They've got the ball. They've been presented another lifeline. Here goes Will Kennedy. Don't force the pass, mate. Just take the tackle. Take the tackle, he does. They're 20 out from the line here. Hynes on tackle 4. Hazelton will just settle it. Fifth and last. Can they come up with some sort of decent fifth tackle option here, the Sharks? Hynes, crossfield kick. Pressure on the kick chase. Mulatalo gets it. He's got support from Talakai. Pops it back in field. And it's knocked on again by Reece Walsh. It's knocked on again by Reece Walsh. Not called. Oh, unbelievable how that's not called. But the Broncos now don't pick him up and lift him back. Don't give away a penalty here. Big defense here from the Sharks. Don't give away any stupid penalties. Tackle 4, Broncos. It's slow going. They're only 10 out from the line. Look out for a bounce pass here on the outside to Corey Oates. 5th and last. They're 11 out from their own line. They've made 9 meters. A big kick needed here from Reynolds. Oh, and boy, has he delivered it, Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds, a big kick was needed. And by God, has he delivered it. What a kick from Adam Reynolds, the old dog. Showing how it's done. They're still under pressure here, of course. But what a kick. They made 9 meters off that set of 6 kick. And Reynolds thumps it up over halfway. Hynes loops this out to Mulatalo. He's in space. Cuts back in field. Tackle 4. Sharks. 10 out from the line. It's slow play the ball. Reynolds, the wily old veteran, slowing play down. Ramian to ground. 5th and last. Sharks. Hynes. Back to Brayley. Brayley, and it's another terrible kick. A terrible kick. These 5th tackle options for the Sharks. My God, it's unbelievable. I mean, how many in one game can you possibly have? How many just terrible 5th tackle options? For 4 years. 4 seasons at least in a row. The destroying part of the Sharks game has been the 5th tackle plays. And tonight, I can't remember one single decent 5th tackle option. Not one. And they are just destroying this for themselves. They've had all the possession, all the territory. They've had double the amount of tackles inside the opponent's territory as the Broncos have, and they're 8 points behind. But apparently that's a joke for me to point out, according to my co-host. Oh, Reynolds is bumped away here. Reynolds is in trouble. Oh, Reynolds is going to be off for a HIA. That's going to be a turning point in the game. Brayley spots some space out of dummy half. Oh, Reynolds is going to get pulled off here for a HIA at any moment. Waiting for a break. Waiting for a break in play. He did not look healthy after that, it must be said. They will be watching that very, very closely indeed. Williams, and now it's the Sharks going nowhere, pinned right down in their own end. And it's the Broncos with great field position here. Start their set. They've weathered the storm here, the Broncos. And the Sharks, they've just offered nothing. The 5th tackle options. That's what it's been. That's the difference between the two teams at the moment. The 5th tackle options of the Sharks have been abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. I can't find any saving grace for them on their 5th tackle options at all. Nothing positive, slightest to say, and it has cost them this game. They've had enough possession and territory to win 3 NRL games in a row. And yeah, Reynolds is definitely not 100% because that is a disaster of a kick by his lofty standards. A horrible kick. And if that's not a sign of somebody not 100%, I don't know what is. Glad we didn't hype this game up again. Yeah, it's been abysmal, hasn't it? The Sharks are offering about as much as an attack as the Blues did on Wednesday night. And the Broncos just mistake after mistake, but they've taken their chances, taken their luck. And now, oh, it's now straight through the hands and away go the Broncos. What a load of bollocks. Just when you think things can't go any worse for one team and even luckier for the other team. Look at what just happened. Mulatalo unmarked here. Just has to catch the ball. He just has to catch the ball and fall over the line. All he has to do is catch that ball and fall over. The 4-pointer for the Sharks. Another forward pass from dummy half there. They very rarely get called, though. Venice. Fifth and last, Broncos back on the attack. 24 minutes to go. Reynolds. Oh, it's another dodgy kick from him by his standards. There is definitely something off with Reynolds at the moment. And the sooner he gets taken off for a HIA, the better it might be for the Broncos, in all honesty. He's clearly not well after reeling away from that hit. He is clearly not 100%. He's put in 2 absolutely disastrous kicks since that moment that are just not up to his standard. That says to me he's not in a clear state of mind. A HIA very, very soon. Reynolds. 6 again here for the Sharks. Let's just wait and see how they balls this up on tackle 5. The best thing for the Sharks is if they don't get to tackle 5, I suspect. Tackle 3. Talakai's in trouble in back play. Interested to see what's going on there. Moylan takes it to the line. Out the back to Hynes. Short ball in the quarter. Nothing doing for the Sharks. They're just not asking any at all. The defense is very one-dimensional. Hazelton. 5th and last. Now, here we go. 5th tackle option. What do they come up with? Another just absolute shit kick from Hynes. Terrible. 5th tackle option again. Straight down the throat of the Broncos player. And now a penalty to the Broncos for offside. This is the worst Sharks performance I've seen in a long time. The absolute worst performance. They are offering nothing on attack. No points in the second half yet. Remember, I've got a bet on both teams to score 1+ try each half. So that's not looking good at the moment. Well, hard to see. The Broncos are looking more likely. The Broncos will definitely get a try in the second half. It's hard to see where the Sharks are going to get one from, though. Really hard to see where the Sharks are going to get a try from. They need a little bit of luck to go their way. Oh, it is that, the bit of luck to go their way. No, it's not. Double knock on. And a double knock on is pretty pretty much sums this game up, doesn't it? Something about when these two teams meet that just all the skill level goes out the window. They just drag each other down into a complete and total suckfest. Very reminiscent of last year when we were so excited here at the Wasted World to stream this game, and it was just a dire old snooze fest. And and this one, Sharks are just offering anything. Haven't showed up. I would say the Broncos haven't showed up either. They've had some tries completely against what you expect. been far from a structured, solid, competitive game of footy. Once again, but I wonder what it is. You get that sometimes. You get that. Some teams. They just drag each other down into as a forward pass from Mulatalo. Just nothing happening here for the Sharks. I can't even put this down to the Broncos' defense. I honestly can't. The Broncos haven't had to defend. It's just been a disastrous display from the Sharks coming off the play. They should be fresh. They should be raring to go. A player like Nicho Hynes, he should be completely pumped up and trying to make amends for Wednesday night. But nothing. They've fired no shots at all. Not a single solitary shot have they fired yet at the Broncos. 50 minutes of football. Not done a thing of note. "19 minutes to go. Break the mattresses out. Snooze fest here at PointsBet Stadium. Maybe we should have had the game at Suncorp. It might have been a little bit more exciting because at least then there would have been something to talk about. I've got nothing really to talk about. Game. Risky offload again from the Sharks. Comes to nothing. They lose about 30 metres on the play. Oh, but big Hazelton puts the head down. Use on the Rabbits. Who gives two shits about the Rabbits? Oh, Broncos away with the ball again. A nothing kick on the fifth and last. Stacks breaks away from a weak attempted tackle by Talakai. Oh, can we just end this torture? Can we just end this torture? Can the Broncos just score the game? Put it completely out of reach, for God's sake. End everybody's boredom and end the game. Oh my God, Flegler has just dropped the ball. Oh, it just won't end. It just won't end. A very simple crash ball from Flegler. Wow, he just dropped that one absolutely cold, Flegler, hasn't he? Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't care less about the South Sydney players. My only concern is now all the talk will start again about Cody Walker for Origin. Need I remind everybody about Cody Walker's efforts at Origin level? He's been tried. Not once. Once was bad enough, but no, we tried him again. No. Just no. Just no. Sharks with the ball. It's loose. It's scrappy. It's the fifth and last. They're 20 out. 15 minutes to go. 15 and a half minutes to go. Gordon Moylan, fifth and last. They're putting it through the hands here on the fifth and last. The Sharks to Mulatalo, who is taken over the sideline. And Reece Walsh all 4 foot tall of him is trying to hulk up on the sideline. That was the most hilarious thing I've seen in the history of the NRL, is a 4 foot tall Reece Walsh hulking up on the sideline after not even making this tackle, just coming in over the top. High, incidentally. And then he stands up after the high shot, and all 3'9" of him hulks up on the sideline. Oh, that's a sight to see. Oh, boy. Yawnarama City game. What a song. McKid King says, go and sleep. I wish I could. But once I've started, I've made a commitment to do it, haven't I? I realise my heart's not exactly in it. But once I've started the goddamn thing, I don't really have a choice, do I? 15 minutes. Come on, 15 minutes is all we've got to get through. We can do this. Up we get. Up we pump up. Broncos ball. 40 out from their own line. Up over halfway they go. Up over halfway on tackle 4 here, the Broncos. Just making meters at will again. 5th and last. Carrigan goes to ground. They've made another good 60-odd meters there off that set. Reynolds. Oh, don't tell me this is going to be a penalty here. Oh, come on. Can old mate Ranger here, the referee, just and be done with it? Jesus Christ. Softest penalty you'll ever see. Oh, should they take the 2? Take the 2. They're not going to take the 2. This is the first time that that old mate has refereed a Sharks Broncos game, and I think it's pretty clear cut who he goes for. That way. It's been a disaster of a game, and the Sharks have been abysmal. But Jesus, decisions like that just make you wonder. Oh, they've got them skinned out here to the left. Here, the Broncos stepping back in field though, not going out wide. Carrigan inside to Haas. They're a couple of meters out from the line here, the Broncos. Reynolds will kick. It's played out by the Sharks. It'll be 6 again. Tackle 2. Bronco Gamer Mel says, I'm so glad I didn't watch this game. Choose to watch the stream. Hey! Gamer Mel. Ah, there we go. That's a try for the Broncos. Herbie Farnworth is over. Well, at least they actually deserved that one. Actually made a structured play, built up and scored it. And, yeah, geez, this miserable old game has finally been put to bed. So, thank God for that. I've never been so bored in anything in my life. Yeah, I was really concerned. I said at the top of the stream. That I was really worried about Nicho Hynes. Nicho Hynes backing up from a disastrous Origin debut. He's played like a man out of confidence. And, yeah, just nothing has gone Sharks' way at all. Broncos have been as lucky as the Broncos could ever possibly be for large parts of this game. But to their credit, having said that, they've taken the opportunities that have been presented to them. Once again, for the week in a row, they did it against the Warriors last week as well. They've just held on. They've hung in there, taken their opportunity, snuffed out opportunities down the other end. Reynolds, it's hooking back. It's through. It's 20 points to 6. It's over as a contest now. 14 points the difference. And the hoodoo continues for the Sharks. They've only won twice out of the last 9 occasions against the Broncos. Make it twice out of the last 10 now, including tonight. And the supposed match of the round has just been a jolly old shit show game I've ever watched. Once again, goes Sharks up towards the top of the table. Expectations are high for a good game. And it's just been a jolly old shit show. Reserve grade level bollocks. Centered. Did he? McKid King says, I vote for Dylan Edwards to get into the fullback position. Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Can't. Nobody. This is the problem. Nobody should own the jersey. Nobody should own the jersey. But it's also such a big call to remove the captain. So this is the question, McKid King. If you remove Tedesco, who's the captain of the Blues? And this could be a big part of the problem. Who captains? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm absolutely not saying you're wrong. In a different era, Dylan Edwards, first player picked in a Blues squad. Absolutely. He is the best fullback in the game at the moment. Dylan Edwards, far and away, best fullback in the game as it stands right now. And he would be the first player picked in a different era. But my question is, if we get rid of James Tedesco, who captains the team? It's an important question to answer. Oh, absolutely, Vopsy. It's not going to happen. I just want to, because this game is so goddamn boring. This is the most boring game of footy I've ever seen. History of me watching NRL. But just an absolute disaster of performance for the Sharks and boring game overall. I've never seen a more boring game of footy ever. So we're talking hypothetical. Hypothetical, Vopsy. Teddy is obviously not spot. But were he to lose his spot, who gets the captain's? Well, Cameron Murray's not going to be playing game 2. That's an important thing to. That's an important thing to note. Cameron Murray will not be part of game 2. He got injured tonight playing for Souths, so it's unlikely. Okay, we've got to wait for the final analyses, but it's looking very likely Cam Murray's going to be out game 2. He's not an option. . Bobsy says, I'd like to see Paps back. I wonder if he would be in the conversation if he's back and playing good. I think he would. I think he probably would, in all honesty. But knowing Freddie Fittler, he'd probably be in the conversation to play centre. What I mean? Know what I mean? He'd be in the conversation to play centre. The red Teletubby. Ahoy there. Oh, God. Oh, there's Teletubbies in the chat room. How has this happened? How has this eventuated? Anyways, I'm leaving the game on Discord for those of you who are tuned into Discord. I tapped out on that one a long time ago. Fred, that was the most boring thing I've ever watched in my life. Drifter Thrifter says Cook needs to be back. He always steps up in blue. He does, but then by the same token, Coruscant did absolutely nothing wrong. Coruscant was actually one of the best blues, in my opinion. Scored a try and all. So I think it'd be, but I also believe, Drifter, and I said it in the lead up. There you go, Drifter. Yes, right what I was leading into, mate. Right what I was leading into. Nicho Hynes, Deine, was a complete and total waste of space. He either starts or he doesn't get picked. I said that in the weeks leading up to the game. I said that on the night of the game. And that camera shot on the around about the 68th minute mark, the camera shot of the bench and Nicho Hynes just sitting there with his coat on, looking as bored as I am during this game. Looking as bored as me during this jolly shit show that's going on behind me. As pretty telling, in my opinion. So he being Freddie just had absolutely no idea how to use Nicho Hynes, and he's just occupying a bench spot unnecessarily. So I am right down that alley, Drifter Thrifter, and it was part of my Blues squad as well. It was my Blues squad in the weeks leading up to Origin. Coruscant to start at 9, Cook at 14. But then, of course, look, there's always a risk. And the risk is what happens if Tedesco goes down with a HIA again. Tedesco gets ruled out with concussions, say. Right, maybe Tommy Turbo switches to fullback. And Hynes comes in to... well, here's the thing. I don't want to bring Hynes into the centres. I don't want to bring Hynes into the centres at all. Because we saw what happened. I knew that's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know. There just needs to be some tweaks anyway. What I was saying. All right. Hey, no, Latrell can't play. Latrell cannot play fullback at rep level. And I'll talk all about that right after this. Right now, I want to have a quick break. So I'm going to replay Vobsy's victory message from Fletch.
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletch, and the wasted world of sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You've got to go collect your first one, actually. So, $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Fletch. So what was I saying? What was I on about? Remember? Oh, Latrell Mitchell is not a fullback. Yeah. Latrell, I'm more than happy for Latrell to Stephen Crichton centers. I think that that Turbo is probably not 100%. So the fact that maybe we keep Crichton, because Crichton actually had a pretty decent game. Let's be honest. Stephen Crichton, he made a couple of mistakes, but then who didn't? Who bloody didn't? Latrell Mitchell is a center. Put him in center. Stephen Crichton holds his spot. Maybe if Tommy Turbo is not 100%, put Latrell in that roaming role. He is center by number and list on the squad sheet only. Give him free reign to roam around the paddock. Tom Trbojevic has to be a 100% fit, get picked. And I said this in the lead up too. I would just like to say, I pointed out a lot of this at the game. I mean, I'm not, honestly, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. Although we know that I do love that. I'm just saying, just suggesting that it seemed obvious. It seemed obvious to a lot of us. The thing that I was right about that everybody else was about, that pretty clear-cut thing that turned out to be true, is that Hynes either starting halfback or he's not in the squad. If you pick him in the squad, he's just occupying his space, and it happened. It happened, and you can't lay blame on one player, but Nicho Hynes, his last minutes, it's not his fault. First and foremost, his fault. He was thrown to the Wolves by Freddie into a position and that he's never been in, and it should have been allowed to happen. You've got Matt Burton squad. Matt Burton, center. Matt Burton is tried and tested center at Origin level. The 18th man was activated. Eye contact. I don't understand why he didn't go to Matt Burton. Matt Burton should have come on the field in that last 10 minutes of Origin before Nicho Hynes. After the match, you pat Nicho on the shoulders and you say, look, mate, no, you wanted to get out there. Apologise you didn't get out there. But the situation called for specialist centre. We had you prepared for this. Had you prepared for that. Hynes could have come on. Hynes could have come on and replaced Tedesco at fullback. He could have replaced Cleary at halfback. He could have replaced any of the wingers. The one position you don't want a Nicho Hynes is in bloody centre. And just rewatch. If you're a Blues supporter and you can build up the courage to rewatch that last 10 minutes of the game, I suggest you do it and just pick apart Nicho Hynes' game. And again, it's not his fault. It is absolutely not his fault. I don't want to throw this all on Nicho. Not his fault. He was thrown to the Wolves. Out of position. No experience at all. Thrown to the Wolves. But his mistakes in defense, mistakes with ball handling, last 10 minutes, so critical. And I'll tell you what, you've got to give props to Cameron Munster. Cameron Munster completely blew them apart in that last 10 minutes. As soon as Hynes was on the field, Munster, they just tore New South Wales apart down that left-hand side. Left-hand edge, left-hand edge, left-hand edge. Tore them to pieces, to absolute shreds. And you've got to give Cameron Munster, credit where credit is due. He saw that Hynes was on the paddock, and he just targeted the attack. All the attack down that left-hand side. Poor Nicho Hynes was just out of his depth in a position he's never played before, in a situation he's never been in before. And I feel so bad for the guy. I feel so bad for Nicho Hynes. And now it's carried over to club level as well. And this is what I was worried about. I said this at the start of tonight's stream. As a Sharks supporter, I'm so concerned now that Nicho Hynes' experience at Origin level is now going to play a part into his confidence in clubland. And it has. The Sharks were awful tonight. The fact that the Broncos only won by 8 points is something that Walters really going to have to pick apart. They can't be happy with that, the Broncos even. 8 points, and we basically played a reserve grade team and should have won by about 40. So I don't think Walters or the Broncos will even be happy about they'll be happy about the result. I don't think they'll be necessarily happy that they only managed to win by 8 points. Personally, I wouldn't be if I were a coach. If I were a coach, if I were in Kevy Walters' shoes, and I was coaching a team, and came out and I played that team, and that's what they presented to us, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You losers! We only won by 8 points." Christ! After what they produced, we only won by 8 points. Back to the grass. Anyway, I think I have managed to successfully fill in the last 8 minutes of what was the most 2023 so far. It's funny that it's both. I find it hilarious. The most boring game of 2022. It's a toss-up between the Sharks and the Broncos, or that the Cowboys versus Raiders game last year. But this year, so far, hands down, 100%, it's not even close. The single most boring game of football that I've ever been forced to sit through was this complete and utter dross tonight. Just a shambles from both teams. And the Broncos just made more of their opportunities, basically. They rode their luck. They had a lot of luck. Rode their luck. Took their opportunities. And 8 points at the end. I don't think there'll be anybody happy. So, for one last time tonight, I'm just so bored. I can't begin to describe. Just that was the most boring game of football I've ever been through. So discombobulated right now. Jesus, no. Will I be streaming any of the games? I don't think so. It might take me a few days to recover, be able to have faith in rugby league again. That's just been a horrible, horrible week. I mean, Wednesday night wasn't a bad game. It was a bad result, but right, horrible game. More bored. Entire life. The most part, all of it, was chatting to you lot in the chat room, which is good because ultimately, about at the end of the day, I mean, thumbs up for that part. But it certainly helps when the rest of it's interesting as well. But yeah, that was just a gigantic nothing burger from half time. Well, from the last 10 minutes. Half time. game. The Sharks just, which is hard to fathom. And it was the Broncos had all the players backing up from Origin. Broncos had all the players backing up from Origin. Somehow, they managed to lady. Sharks were like, yeah, 30 minutes to us. All good. All right, 9:29. Let's shoot it over to Fletch. Sign us off.
G'day, Vobsy. Well, ahoy, Vobsy. This is a message from myself, Fletch, and the wasted world of sports. Just to let you know, mate, you've won back-to-back VIP titles, another $100 gift card. You got to go collect your first one, actually. So $200. Anyway, mate, well done. Congratulations. And ahoy, the Vobsy. See you, brother.
His ass is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back up. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.